Good morning, gang. Happy Saturday morning from what was supposed to be a nice rainy day here in East Tennessee. But as usual, the Weather Channel is full of idiots. They must all work for the Biden administration because they can't get anything right. And it ain't raining. Go figure. But what I want to talk about this morning is something that comes up, at least in comments, all the time. And I'm betting there's a lot of people that don't really know what it is. Okay. So I thought I'd kind of walk you through it and exactly why it's the game plan that we're heading into right now. And it's Cloward-Piven. Okay, if you guys have heard that before, you've probably heard the name and maybe don't understand what it is. Okay, but it's exactly the game plan that has been used by, well, starting with the Obama administration and definitely continuing with Obama's third term, i.e., the current potato is the puppet. Okay. Cloward-Piven is a radical communist socialist utopia that was originally penned by a husband and wife team of a couple of professors at Columbia University. Okay, Richard Cloward and Francis Fox Piven. Okay, you always love when they're married and have different names, but that's typical of leftists. Oh my God, it's my identity. Yeah, okay. What Cloward-Piven is a plan to get everybody in America dependent on the government. Okay, collecting welfare, collecting food stamps, collecting any sort of government program, and taking away all the equal opportunity that we have. Okay, you want to make more money? Go get a better job. Okay, you want a nicer house? Go make more money. Go get a better job. Under Cloward-Piven, nobody gets that. Okay, we all get the same. I mean, they were big in equity, equality, and inclusion. Those names ring a bell? I mean, they just didn't put the diversity tag in there. They put equality in there. How you can have equality and equity at the same time? Hell, they're liberals. Go figure. They can't figure that one out. But this is exactly what's going on. And this is the roadmap that is being followed by Washington for everybody. And I mean, if you start to think about this, let's take a look. What are they talking about in California and now in Kansas City? Reparations. Let's give people money. Okay, right? Not earn it. We're going to give it to them under some false facade that we've got a wrong that we've got to pay for that's 160 years old that nobody living had anything to do with. Okay. And I'm sorry, I don't give a crap what anybody says. Your life today was not affected at all, 0% exactly, by the fact that maybe one of your ancestors was a slave. Maybe your life was fixed better for the positive because you happen to live in the United States. Because I'll tell you this, the poor people in America are tenfold richer than the poor people in Africa. Just saying, if you don't like it here, hop a plane. They go that way too. Okay. If you want to go live like your ancestors because you're so oppressed in the United States, nobody's stopping you. Okay. So let's go into the next part of it. All right. And this is something that the Fed has come out and said blatantly. We need unemployment to go up. We need more people unemployed. What happens when unemployment goes up? People collect unemployment checks. People are long-term unemployed. Eventually they collect welfare. They collect food stamps. Look at our military. Our military pays so piss poor that you have lower level enlisted people who have families on food stamps collecting WIC. That didn't happen when I was in. Okay, didn't make great money, but again, you got to remember this is going back to the 80s. My paycheck was, including my separate rations, was maybe somewhere around $1,000 a month. But back then, $1,000 a month was enough to get myself an apartment. And not a shithole. It wasn't Mar-a-Lago, okay, but it was a safe area apartment. and I could feed a family. No problem. Now, not so much. Then you go into everything going on the southern border. Okay. Well, the Biden administration has a big problem with this is against American mentality where we believe, most of us, or at least half of us, not Generation Z and about half the millennial generation, that don't. The rest of us believe in hard work to get ahead. Okay. We're not whining going, what do you mean I have to work 8 hours a day? Oh my God. What do you mean I have to be at work at 8 o'clock in the morning? I sleep till 10. No, that's never been the American way of life, right? We get up in the morning, we go to work, we bust our ass, we come home at the end of the day, have dinner, kiss the kids, help with homework, go out, mow the lawn, do whatever, and go to bed, okay? That's always been the American way, hard work. I mean, it was, probably only in the last 30 years, I guess, that you've really had the American work ethic go in the toilet. I mean, we used to compete up there with, the Japanese and the Koreans for how much we work. Right now, they blow us away. The kids in Asia are going to school, 12 months a year, 10 hours a day, learning everything, blah, blah, blah. Here, our kids, even if they don't show up to school, we can't give them an F. That'll hurt their poor self-esteem. We've got to pass them through. Joey, congratulations on your graduation. Sign your name here. I don't know how to spell my name. That's what we have. Okay. That's all part of Cloward-Piven. And you get the mass influx of immigrants, illegals, illegal aliens, everybody. That's what they are. They are not anything other than illegal alien invaders coming into the United States. Why? Because that is right in line with the Cloward-Piven strategy of putting everybody on welfare. If we have an influx, we've already had 2 million people. We're now expected to hear about 5 million a year. This is exactly what's going on. They will crush the American dream by bringing in so many welfare recipients. Okay? Because, Juan and Maria need to come in. They need to get free cell phones. Don't believe me. There's videos of these guys getting handed cell phones yesterday on the border as they came in. Okay? Free. You and me paying for it. That's how free it is. Okay? Doesn't cost the government anything. Doesn't cost AT&T anything. It costs us. Okay? We'll put them up in hotels. Like I told you before, it just makes hotel prices more expensive. They'll compete for rent, which makes rent more expensive. They're going to use electricity, which means, electricity, there's only so much of it. I hate to tell you this, Joe, we can't all run everything on electricity. We don't have enough as is. So let's bring more people into the country so we can use more, which will drive the price up of everything. So what is their idea by doing this? If we bring in a bunch of people that will be government dependent, it will drive the price up for everything, drive taxes up for everything, drive supply down for everything, that everybody in the country will eventually be poor. Okay? Now, I want you to think about this. I told you the other day what it costs to bring in these illegals, right? Each one of us pays each person, every individual in the United States so far has had to pay about $400 to support these people. And we brought in 2 million. What happens when it's 10 million, 100 million? What happens if we ever get to the point of it's 1 billion people coming into the United States? There's only 335 million of us here now. Okay. Because, like I said earlier, our poor people are wealthier than the poor people in 99% of the world. Okay. Our poor people live better than, unless you're an oligarch, pretty much anywhere in the world, okay? And yes, as much as all the uber wealthy get all the press, the majority of populations of most of the countries around the rest of the world are poor, okay? Not all of them, okay? Some of them are, they're still good, but our poor people still live pretty well. even without welfare, they could live well. Okay, just stop deciding to have 5 kids with 5 different baby daddies, and maybe you'd be all right. Okay, stop running around town like you're a sperm donor trying to impregnate anybody and get a job instead. Maybe that would be worthwhile. But what happens? Because you figure you've got everybody from Mexico, everybody from Central America, everybody from South America, oh, I don't know, everybody from Haiti, the Middle East, China, anywhere coming in. Oh, yeah, besides the fact that they're all working age, military age males that could get jobs, but video yesterday about 15 Mexicans standing outside somewhere washing cars in a parking lot. Okay, yeah, there's what the U.S. economy needs. Those are the jobs that they're trying to fill here, right? Because we needed 15 guys to stand out with a garden hose stealing the water, okay, and washing people's cars. Who knows where they got the soap, okay? But that's what's going on. Think of New York City and all those guys squeegeeing your window at a stoplight or whatever. That's the labor we're bringing in, okay? So what'll happen? All those people will wind up on welfare, wind up on food stamps, wind up on HUD, yada, yada, yada. Cloward-Piven. It is to bring us... Cloward-Piven doesn't bring everybody up. Cloward-Piven is a race to the bottom. It is to make everybody equally poor. That is the equity they talk about, guys. Mark my words on this. There is no doubt whatsoever. Equity, which means everybody being equal, okay, does not bring anybody up to the level at which the middle class, what you're the American dream, does not bring anybody up there. It brings everybody down, except for that select few who are pulling all the strings, i.e. politicians and their oligarchs here in the United States. Okay, media, I hate to tell you this, you aren't in that mix. You will be down poor with the rest of us. So all those of you that at CNN or MSNBC or Fox or whatever that think, oh, you're above the fray and you'll be sitting there rubbing elbows with Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos and Joe Biden and Barack Obama, no. You're going to be down here with the rest of us going, please, sir, may I have another? Okay, that's where you're going. This is exactly the administration's plan. This is exactly why we prep. Okay, Cloward-Piven is being implemented right under our noses. They don't even hide the fact that they're doing it. I mean, like I said, the Fed tells you that they want to raise unemployment. They want to make it harder for you to own a house, harder for you to buy stuff, i.e. interest rates, things like that. We've got to bring in all these illegals and supply them with welfare stuff, phones, houses, whatever it would be, okay? And we've got to take it from the American people. I mean, Mayorkas the other day said, like I told you guys, that illegals have priority in this administration over American citizens, okay? This is exactly why we prep. So we do not, individually or in our little groups, do not have to live under this sort of totalitarian regime. You wanted to know what Cloward-Piven was. Cloward-Piven is communism on steroids. If you want to live in that scenario, that type of world, okay, support Joe. If you want to go back to the days where we have individual rights, individual freedoms, we can afford to pay the bills, we can afford to eat, okay, go polish some brass. We're getting closer every day of having to use it. Pinball out.